So let's move on to the next question, guys. In this question, we are given a circle, right? In which AB is the diameter of the circle. The chord CD is parallel to AB, right? This angle is given to be 30, right? The radius is given to be 5. And we have to calculate the perimeter of this zigzag part, right? So we have to calculate this perimeter. I hope this makes sense. Okay. So now tell me one thing. Firstly, what will this x angle be? Because we know that this line, these two lines are parallel and this is intersecting. And I've told you before that if two lines are parallel, then this angle is equal to this angle because of alternate angles. This angle will be equal to this if two lines are parallel and if this line is intersecting. So this forms a Z basically. Or if you see it like this will form a Z, right? So this angle will be equal to this. So basically, if two lines are parallel and if one line is intersecting, then this angle will be equal to this angle because they're alternate angles, right? So I hope this is very basic. There should be no problem in this. So if this is 30, then this angle will be how much? 30, right? And if this is 30, then this is also 30 because these two angles are equal. This is given in the question. So this will also be 30. So I hope this makes sense, right? Okay, perfect. Now tell me one thing, that firstly let's calculate this part, right? Let's calculate this part. So what is the length of the arc in a circle? For example, this is an arc, right? So what is the length of the arc? The length of the arc is 2 pi r theta upon 360. This is the length of the arc in a given circle, right? And what is the area of the given arc? The area of any arc in a circle is pi r square theta upon 360. I hope these things should be very clear. And what is theta? Theta is the angle that the chord makes at the center of the circle. I'll explain you what it means. For example, let's assume this is the arc, right? This from here to here. So this is basically the chord of the arc, right? So whatever this chord makes angle at the center, this is the center. So this angle becomes a theta basically. Or you can say this chord, this arc makes what angle with the center of the circle, this becomes a theta. So because we have to calculate the perimeter, we will use this formula. If for example we were asked to calculate this area, then we had to use the formula pi r square theta upon 360. I'm just telling you for more information. Okay, perfect. So in order to calculate this part, this shaded part, this zigzag part, we have to calculate this angle over here, right? I hope this makes sense. Perfect. Now tell me one thing, if this is 30, right? Because this is radius, OB is a radius, right? And OC is also a radius. That means this side is equals to this side. This side is equals to this side. So if this is 30, how much will this be? This will also be 30, right? If you see in this triangle, this side is equals to this side. So this is 30, this will also be 30. Then how much will this angle be? This will be 180 minus 30 minus 30, right? So this comes out to be how much? 120. So this angle in this triangle, this angle comes out to be 120, right? So how much will this angle be? This angle will be 180 minus 120, which is 60, right? So this angle comes out to be 60, right? And because these two figures are identical, so this angle will also be 60. Or you can do the exact same calculation over here, but nobody does that because we have found that this angle is 60. So because these two figures are identical, so this angle will also be 60, right? So this entire angle will be how much? 120, right? So now we have found out this angle which is given to be 120, which is not given, which is 120, right? So if we put it, so 2 pi, what is r? R is given to be 5 into what is theta? Theta is given, theta is what? 120, right? We just found out that this angle is 120, so theta is 120 upon 360. So 3, so this comes out to be how much? 10 pi by 3. That means that this, the length of this arc is how much? 10 pi by 3. So I will just write it over here. I hope this makes complete sense, right? Okay. Now tell me one thing, what else do we have to calculate? We have to calculate this part and we have to calculate this part, right? Again, we just need to calculate once, we will do it twice because these two things are exactly the same. So once we calculate this part, we will just double it and we will get both these parts, right? Okay. Now tell me one thing, how do we calculate this? So if you closely look over here, if you join this point to this point, if you join this point to this point, right? So this angle becomes 90. I hope you know this. How? Because in any given circle, if we have a diameter, right? And if we take any point on the circle, and if we join these 2 points, this point, this point, this point, this point. So basically, if we join the end of the diameter to any point on the circle, for example, this is a point, right? If we join this point and this point to this point, this angle will be 90. Similarly, for example, let's take a point over here, right? If we join this point and this point, so this and this, so this becomes a triangle, right? So this angle will be 90. This is a theorem that you should know, so you should remember this. But the condition is that this should be the diameter, right? So this angle becomes 90. Similarly, this is a diameter AB, right? So if we join this diameter to this point on the circle, this angle will become 90. I hope this should be clear now, right? Okay. Now tell me one thing, if I magnify this triangle, so this triangle looks something like this, right? What is this? This is 90, right? How much is this angle? This angle is 30, right? And what is this length? This length is 10. Why? Because the radius is 5, so 5 plus 5, 10. So this is 10, this is 30, and this is 90, right? So what will this angle be? This angle will be 60. I hope makes sense completely. And we have to find out this part, right? We have to find out this part over here. So now if you apply basic trigonometry, so what do you get over here? You get, for example, if this is x, this side is x, so tan 60, sorry, so what you get is sine 60 is equals to x upon 10. I hope you can visualize it this much, that sine 60 is equals to x upon 10, right? What is sine 60? Sine 60 is root 3 by 2 is equals to x upon 10. So what does x come out to be? X comes out to be 5 root 3. Right? So what is x? X is this part, basically. So this comes out to be 5 root 3, right? But we needed 2, so we will double. So this part plus this part will be how much? 10 root 3. 5 root 3 into 2, 10 root 3. So this length plus this length is 10 root 3. This length is 10 pi by 3. So your final answer becomes what? Your final answer becomes 10 pi by 3 plus 10 root 3. So this is the final answer of the length of this plus this plus this. So I hope this should be absolutely clear.